Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me. My screen color is a little different. I'm not sure why. I'm just waiting for people to come on. It could be the influence of the portal, the Lionsgate portal 88. That's changing my screen color, who knows? Anyways, so I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining me. My name is Adriana Barros. I am a therapist of the Table for Accelerated Prosperity, which is the tool I'll be using today on the Lionsgate portal. I am also a trauma release and healing therapist, and I use not only this radionic table, but I also use other tools, the body talk and also angel healing, in order to release trauma. So I help people and animals to release trauma, and we're talking about any kind of trauma. We're talking about trauma from this lifetime, other lifetimes, trauma from birth, from childhood, or any trauma that could be affecting you at any point in time. People really get stuck to very early in life trauma, which is childhood trauma, and the heaviest one to deal with. People have a very hard time. Hello, thanks for coming in. People have a very hard time coping with childhood trauma because it is a very prominent trauma and really defines the person even later in life. And so the thing is, even today, hi everybody, thanks for coming. Good evening. Happy Lionsgate Portal 88 to everyone. I'm glad you're here. So I was talking about hello there. About the therapies that I do and how I help people and animals release trauma from any point in time, from adulthood, from teenage years, from childhood, from before birth, from other lifetimes, which can carry over to this present lifetime. And people can really sustain sequela from whatever has happened to them in the past without knowing, because if there's no connection to this lifetime, these traumas can be pretty much related to something else that has happened to you way earlier. And this can come in form of a physical sequela, in form of a disease, a deficiency, a disability, an injury, prominent headaches, you name it. It could be anything. So if we don't find the root cause in this lifetime, chances are that root cause is rooted somewhere else in other lifetimes, because it could have been generations back. And this comes up as we, for example, use the tool, one of the tools that I'm using today, because of the portal, the Lionsgate portal 88, I am using a manifestation tool for abundance and prosperity, which is called the Table for Accelerated Prosperity. So why do we call it table? We call it table because it's a radionic table. And radionic has its roots in radionics, which started in the beginning of the century, last century, and in a way of healing deficiencies, diseases, whatever, but with the use of a pendulum, like this one that I have here. And so the role of the pendulum is really to identify the imbalance and release the imbalance. By releasing the imbalance, at the same time it does that, it elevates the vibration and it balances and aligns all the energy bodies. So the ones that you guys are familiar with, chakras, for example. So it's, if people can, oftentimes, even if they don't have a condition going on, energy levels can go down. Or even speaking of abundance and prosperity, for example, the root chakra is the chakra that's connected to manifestation. And if that chakra specifically is out of balance, you will feel a lot of discomfort. You will feel that it's hard to manifest, to bring in anything into fruition. However, keep in mind, it's always a combination of things. It's not only one thing that can make you not manifest. It's really a combination of things. So there's no like magic formula, and it is a work in progress. Everybody has to start working on themselves at some point. Just let me know, out of the bunch here, out of the group, has anybody in this group received any healing sessions, energy healing sessions in the past? Are you familiar with any healing modality? Has anybody received any healing before? Or is this your first time? Yes, Kim says yes. So for those who have never experienced, this is a very broad approach, right? By working with the table, I'm gonna show it to you right now. This is the tool I'm using tonight. It's called the Table for Accelerated Prosperity. So technically, it really works on all levels of your body. The emotional body, the brain, so your thoughts, your physical body, and the spiritual body. So here I'm gonna just go over quickly of what's covering here. So we work with over 50 emotions that we have to set free from your being, and also beliefs, limiting beliefs. And as we're gonna pick up on the energy of the collective, keep in mind that this might resonate with you 100%, it might not. Parts of it might resonate more than others, but it doesn't matter, because this is not a one-on-one session. So it's not going to be all about you, right? Just keep in mind that it is the collective energy. So before we start going over this, everybody's here because of the portal, the Lionsgate portal 88. And this is the most powerful day for manifestation that you can ever find in a year's calendar, a lunar's calendar. So this is when there's this alignment of energy of the sun, the earth, and two other energies that if we are under this light, which started on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken, and it will finish on the 12th. So we are already in the portal, but because this is like the most prominent day of the portal, it's when it's the day for you to manifest, so to focus, to concentrate on. And that's why, if you've seen my videos before, I highly recommended that you watched my body talk session to release anxiety that I did a couple of days ago. Because I know that when you're having money problems, it is hard to focus, it's hard to relax, it's hard to concentrate, it's hard to let go. So the more tense and tied up you are regarding your financial situation, the harder it is for you to bring in any abundance, because it is a combination of things. You really have to be aligned with what you want to achieve. You have to be calm, you have to be positive, you have to be confident, you have to be optimistic, you have to have everything reverse from what you're experiencing at the moment, which is the hardest part. I get it. But it is really letting go of that narrow mindset, that box of, okay, what if not? What if? The what if is what kills you right there. Because you cannot bring anything on, because you're so worried about the future, which is fear. And fear, because anxiety doesn't really exist. It's really fear. Because if you're fearful of something, it's going to really bring you panic attack, anxiety. But 100% of times, people are fearful of something that hasn't happened. Right or wrong, right? And if you're fearful of something that hasn't happened yet, it can crush everything. And then what is the point even of thinking of manifesting? Because if you're already setting in stone that it's not going to happen, right? The worst case scenario is going to come out of it. Why bother? So that's the thing. You have to be positive as much as you can. And for that, you can do mantras. You can do affirmations. You can receive sessions of the Table for Accelerated Prosperity or Body Talk. You can do yoga. You can walk in nature, which I've already showed in some of my videos. You have to do grounding. Grounding is an excellent exercise for you to connect with the abundance energy, which is walking in nature, sitting in nature, barefoot on grass, walk on grass, whatever it is. These are grounding exercises that will connect you with the energy of abundance, because abundance comes from the earth, right? And it is a connection. It's the earth with the divine. When we are in alignment with those two points, right? The top and the bottom, we are in alignment to manifest. So the Table for Accelerated Prosperity does that. It really takes all the negativity and all the tension that is about, that is around your body, your physical body, your mind, and all the energy bodies that surround your physical body. And once we clear the path, it's easier for the good things to come in. Back to where I was showing you the Table for Accelerated Prosperity. So like a brief idea of what this most powerful tool of manifestation does. I don't know anything that is more potent than this table. Anyways, I don't know if you can see, but right here, there's 3 numbers, 3, 6, and 9. So these numbers alone, they represent everything that exists in the universe, right? So it's really spirit, matter, ascension, and spirituality. So it's the Trinity, and these 3 numbers bring in abundance and manifestation. Then we have, I'm gonna use the other table. This one has a little bit of stickers on it, so ignore the stickers because those are notes to myself. But here, all these letters are the Yod He Vav He. This represents the human body, okay? So Yod He Vav He, this is a Hebrew phrase which really is the name of the divine in Hebrew. So why do we say this in this table? Because we are bringing abundance from the source. Who is the source? It's God. And who is God? It's us. Who are us? Who are we? We are God. And why? Because these sayings, Yud He Vav He, are imprinted on every single living being's cells. They are imprinted on our cells. So when people say to you, or if you've heard somebody say, maybe some crazy person say, oh, I am God. No, you're not. God is up in the sky. No, he's right or she's right. Because everybody has the DNA, you want to call it DNA so you understand, imprinted in every single cell of our body. There's this symbol, Yod He Vav He. Okay, so when I do the liberations here with the pendulum, at the end of each activation, I'll be saying 2 phrases, one of which being Yod He Vav He. So I'm invoking God to really bring this manifestation in. All right. So we have here, where is it? The Merkabah here, the symbol, which it represents the transition between realities. We also have, where am I at? Yeah, we also have the chalice, which is this one. The chalice representing the source. So where are you going to receive it from the source. All right, so bringing abundance into the chalice, that's our representation. We also have the pentagram, which is also this, which represents also the divine order of manifestation. We also have it represents the balance within the universe. So this is like something much broader than we maybe thought it would be. It's not only abundance per se, but it's all these energetic connection that brings abundance into fruition. So the torus field, which is around the physical body, which is the energy from inside and out, from outside in, that connects us into this flow of abundance. So the internal is not separated from the external, and vice versa. Everything is connected. We need to put out to bring it back in. It's a balance, a constant balance, yin and yang if you want. Also the flower of life. The flower of life being in the center of the heart. Or you can also call it the cycle of life, which represents the creation of everything, represents also the access to multidimensional consciousness. We also have the Christ consciousness, which represents also the patterns that we have here on earth on this level, and to bring in a new level of vibration so we can vibrate higher and manifest. Then we have the golden DNA, which is right in the physical body, and this is a spiritual DNA representing also the Christ consciousness. And of course, the table accelerates and activates all the physical and the energy bodies. So with no further ado, we're gonna go into the session. All I want from you guys is to calm down, relax, turn off your TV, your phone, not this one where you're connecting if you're on the phone, but don't take any calls, don't, just stay focused, okay? So be on receiving mode and be here, present right now. All right. You don't have to do anything. You can only be open to receive. I'm going to use my crystals, which is citrine for abundance, which I usually use for this table because it's the yellow color. And let's do this. In the center, I told you guys to focus on one wish, whatever it is you want to manifest with this session today during this portal. See that, mind you, that we started today, August 8th at 8 p.m. All right. So don't ask for abundance, because if you ask for abundance, it's a very broad wish. So abundance is everything, right? It can be on any level, but focus on one thing. What is it that you would love to have? Is it abundance of money? Then abundance of money. Is it abundance of clients? Is it abundance of, is it a job? Is it a new job? Is it a new relationship? Whatever it is, focus on that one thing. All right? And I'm going to put here abundance of money, if that's what you want. I can't put everybody's wishes on here, okay? Because there's no room. But it's in your energy field, and I'm picking up on everybody's energy because this is the collective. All right, so I'm going to use a pendulum and we're going to start. I'm going to open this table first because I have to be asking permission in order for me to connect with the highest energy. And so there's a few things that I have to say along the way, but those are just part of, things that I have to use for the table session. All right. So let's do it. I ask at this moment, I ask the table for accelerated prosperity and the highest energies present here right now to bless this session, to bless this table to bless all the table's practitioners, including myself, and open this table session for abundance and prosperity, abundance of everything that all the collective wishes, and the same that I wish. All right, I'm going to say this next sentence here. I am the connection with the divine presence, and you say your name, okay? I am the connection with the divine presence, Adriana. I am the connection with the divine presence, the collective. Now, this table also measures your vibration. So it goes from 0 to 100, which could be anywhere. If you've never received a session of the table for accelerated prosperity before, your vibration will be low. Don't bother, don't worry about it. It's just normal, okay? So what is the vibration for the collective right now regarding achieving their wish? 15, not too bad, all right? Now, I'm gonna place the crystals. So we're gonna work on the mental first, okay? Whatever's connected to your mental. So all the beliefs, everything that's keeping you stuck to the past or to negative things, everything that is going to come up is picking up on your energy, on everybody's energy. So what do we have to release first on the mental level for the collective? Financial barriers. So that could include not manifesting, not making money. So whatever you do, there's always something that keeps you stuck, right? And we're gonna surpass that. What is the next tool we need to activate in order to bring money and abundance of whatever they wish for the collective? Financial predictions or forecasts. So, you know, when you get your phone, your calculator on your phone, and you keep adding up the numbers to see if you're going to have the money to pay your bills at the end of the month? Who does that? Anybody here does that? So that's what that is. So you keep playing that same thought in your head all over and over, okay? So we're going to break that cycle. Next one. Memories. What are the memories or the remembrances that you have about money? And that takes me to where something that I wanted to bring up as well. Who were you in the past with money? All your life, who were you? What kind of individual? So if you say, who was I with money? It takes you always to the past. But if you say, what am I with money? If you start asking you that question instead of what am I with money? It's going to actually take you straight to the future. And that will allow you to connect to what you want to manifest and bring about. Next. What else? What is the next tool we have to activate for the mental? Imprisoned identities. So, imprisoned identities, hold on a sec. Where is it? So it could be really any negative image that reflects on your reality. So a negative image of yourself or a negative image that you've had regarding manifesting abundance, money, and it's all connected to the past because that's what you learned. Usually negative stuff about money is picked up in your childhood. So we're clearing those images, those identities. What's the next tool? What do we have to release from the mental? What is another mental block that we have to let go of here? Mental locks. Mental lock is when you really literally lock some thought in your mind and you just leave it there, right? Usually when you don't want anybody to know what you're thinking, maybe something planned, or you lock it in there, but it's keeping you stuck. That's why we're releasing it. All right, so now here's the command. Another crystal. Creator of all there is, I ask to be canceled, transmuted, transformed. So I'm going to say one by one here. Remembrances, financial forecasts, mental locks, financial barriers, and imprisoned identities from the mental level of the collective. Cancel now, transmute now, transform now. It is done, it is done, it is done. Now, if you want to join me for this, place your hand on the head, and we're going to really say the commands. The second command, the Yud Hey Vav Hey, which is God's name. The second one is Holy, Holy, Holy. It's the Lord of Hosts, which is the translation of the Hebrew saying, which is a manifestation connection, right? For you to clear everything that is negative, that is keeping you stuck. So if you say that command, there's no darkness around. Everything dissipates and is cut off, okay? So, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth. Yud Hey Vav Hey, Yud Hey Vav Hey, Yud Hey Vav Hey. I'm getting chills. It was some kind of a heavy energy, but I'm getting like something running in my arms somehow. All right, we're now going to work with all the emotions we have to dissipate from the heart, okay? So what is the first? Let me get my crystals. 5, 3, all right. What is the first group of emotions we have to set free from the heart that are keeping the collective stuck and not letting them manifest? Come on, pendulum. Be more assertive. There. Procrastination, mourning, emptiness, and misery. All right, so why are these coming up? Because at some point, or often, you either feel that feeling or you say those things, you connect those things regarding your emotion. So your emotion takes you there. Maybe because you're living in the past, most likely, because if you're stuck financially, you're living in the past. So, and the procrastination also, which has to do with trauma, right? So this table is also working on releasing this is all trauma related, So everything that you've learned growing up about money is making you not move forward, and we are releasing that. All right, so all those feelings. What's the next group of emotions that we have to set free from the collective so they can start manifesting? Desperation, solitude, and forgiveness. Desperation is easy because if you're lacking money, you're probably desperate. Solitude, you really isolate yourself and you feel lonely when you don't have an abundant life, or if you don't feel abundant, right? And you can't do stuff. You just can't. You feel as if you can't do nothing. It's not for you, right? That thought that keeps you poor, it's not for me. We're gonna cut it off. And forgiveness. Who do you have to forgive related to money? Is that somebody in your family? Is it somebody that really brought up trauma in you? Is it yourself? Is it both of them? Or both of you? Right? So you know it's different for everyone. So what's the next one? What else do we have to let go emotion-wise for the collective to manifest? What is keeping them stuck? Shame, bad luck, suffering. So shame, what is the shame? Not having money, not being able to pay your bills, being late with your bills, whatever it is. Bad luck, you probably think you're in a constant bad luck. You're just, you know, an unlucky person. You might think that way. And forgiveness. Who are you not forgiving regarding money? Is that yourself or is that someone else? Right? So you know. I know because it hits home, right? Like you know, you just know when the pendulum doesn't lie, and it picks up like everything that's supposed to come out. All right, so let's do the mental release or the emotional release. Creator of all there is, I ask to be canceled, transmuted, and transformed. Procrastination, mourning, emptiness, misery, shame, bad luck, suffering. What's the other one? Desperation, solitude, and forgiveness from the emotional body of the collective and mine. Cancel now, transmute now, transform now. It is done, it is done, it is done. Let's release. Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth. Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth. Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth. Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He. All right. Now we're going to do the physical body. So what is your body holding on to that is creating scarcity, poverty, pains, aches, diseases? All right. What do we have to release from the physical body of the collective? DNA reprogramming. Releasing energy. So DNA reprogramming is really changing all the beliefs, who you are regarding money, to the core, like from your DNA. Like really, what does the reprogramming of DNA do? It creates another person, another identity. That's what it's doing. Okay? So that old person that used to say and believe all those things in the past is gone. All right. And what's the next tool for the physical? What else do we have to release from the physical body, from the collective? Cellular reprogramming. See, not only DNA, but we have to reprogram your cells too. So basically, your cells have been modified regarding abundance, regarding money, regarding just the thought, just the fear that you've been through, and all the memories of everything you've learned about money was able to reprogram or program actually you in a certain way, your cells and your DNA. But now it's time to delete and download again the programming, a new program. Vamos lá. Creator of all there is, I ask to be canceled, transmuted, and transformed. The reprogramming of the DNA and reprogramming and cellular reprogramming of the collective and mine on the physical level. Cancel now, transmute now, transform now. It is done, it is done, it is done. Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth. Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He. All right, now we're going to do the spiritual body. What do we have to release from the spiritual body, from the collective, from me? A lot of energy there, eh? Magnetic field. So what is your magnetic field picking up? What's it picking up off of, right? And what's in it? So when we talk about magnetic field, it's not only what are you picking up, but it's also what's in your magnetic field that it's been implanted on and off of your magnetic field. And this is spiritual influence. It is those devices, chips, viruses, implants, explants, they're all devices for control, okay? That energetically are placed on us in order for us to act a certain way. And why is that? Because we, in our scarcity mindset, in our fear, in our anxiety, panic, whatever, we start attracting these energies. It's not them that attract us, but we attract them. If you elevate your vibration, if you elevate your thoughts, those energies are going to go way far from you, right? But it's the way, the running thoughts, the fear, right? All those things attract the same vibrational frequency. So whoever is on that frequency is like a radio station, right? How do you know which one you're going to pick up? Sometimes you don't have the signal. Sometimes it's perfect and you can listen to everything with no problem, no interference, right? But sometimes there's a problem there. But when that connection is made, then they're in sync, right? And that's what you have to detach from, that synchronicity, because of your low vibrational frequency. It even rhymes. All right, so magnetic field. And that's through the magnetic field that we attract that influence, right? What else do we have to release from spiritual? What else is negative here that is really stopping the collective from manifesting? Occult dimension. Right. And it's the same thing connected to, the devices, the implants, explants, and whatever controlling devices then they can use on us. It's really about imbalance in your body, in your spiritual body, but not only here, but in other dimensions as well, right? Because we are not from here. We are here physically, but what animates the body is not from here. So we are here temporarily experiencing a human experience, living a human experience, but we are not. So the body on its own doesn't do anything, doesn't even live, right? Something animating the body makes us feel and experience everything. And that's what it is. So this occult dimension is when your body is imbalanced on another realm, all right? Which could be in other dimensions, most likely. Okay, let's release those two. Creator of all there is, I ask to be canceled, transmuted, and transformed the occult dimension and the magnetic field from the spiritual body of myself and the collective. Cancel now, transmute now, transform now. It is done, it is done, it is done. Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabayot, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabayot, Kodosh, 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 Adonai Tsabayot. Yud Hei Vav Hei, Yud Hei Vav Hei, Yud Hei Vav Hei. Question: how were you feeling before the session started? Tension, heavy, worried? Can anybody tell me if you were feeling in a certain way before this session started? Any shift so far? Kim? A little bit? Oh yeah. I feel, listen, maybe I'm picking up from you guys, I know I am, but I feel this heaviness just right here, right? And I know it's not mine. So that's why, like, it feels like if maybe I removed a ton of brick from inside, I don't know. All right, now we're gonna do another activation here. We're gonna work with universal laws. There's many universal laws, but with this tool here, we work with a few of them, and we will see which activations we have to do in order to align you with the manifestation of your wish. Okay, so what's the first law, universal law, we have to work on? Law of vibration. So it's really to make you vibrate on the same energy level of your wish, because you just don't have what you want at this point in time, because it vibrates on a much higher frequency than the frequency where you're vibrating right now. Have you ever heard of the Hawkins scale? Does anybody know what that is? Let me show you. So that's the Hawkins scale, is what measures the frequency and the emotions on each frequency. So it really starts at 20, and 20 is really shame, guilt, apathy, sadness, fear, desire. All the mundane emotions are the lowest ones. And humiliation, offense, desperation, and anxiety, they're very low in vibration. But the higher you vibrate, which has to do anywhere above 350 in order for you to start manifesting, actually ideally 400, which is reasoning. If you are at reasoning, you are beginning to think, to understand the process. And then above that, there's love, there's joy, there's peace, and there's illumination, which is like 700 to 1,000 hertz from 20, which is shame, guilt, the lowest ones. So that's why when you do this kind of tool, we raise your vibration if it goes up higher. Okay, so the vibration, the law of vibration, is going to make you vibrate on the same energy level as your wish, so you can manifest it. And what is the next law, universal law, we need to activate for the collective? Law of harmony, which is very complementary to the first law, because you have to be in harmony with your wish, with your desire, whatever you want to achieve. And how do you bring that harmony to inside of you, right? So basically you have to there's no lack of harmony, not out of harmony, but, or disharmony. Is that a word? I can't even say it. But what happens is you are allowing now that your vibration start becoming harmonious, right? That's what this law does. It starts activating in a way that brings harmony into your field. That's the one. All right, let's activate those two. I activate the law of vibration and the law of harmony in order to bring, say your wish, mentally or out loud for yourself, because I don't know what it is that you guys asked, for abundance of money to manifest right now during the Lionsgate portal 88. All right. Now we're going to work with my favorite part of the session, which is the activation of the portal of blessings. And this is so powerful. You're going to see why. Because it really connects to whatever it is that you want to manifest. And it really, we say it out loud, and it brings on all that, you know, that power. You feel powerful once you read this. Once you hear it, you're going to see why. All right, let's go. I activate the portal of financial blessings for myself and the collective. Activate, activate, activate. Here you go. Activate and potentialize extra money. Activate and potentialize new sources of income. Activate and potentialize money in large quantities. Activate and potentialize financial miracles. Activate and potentialize magic money. Activate and potentialize codes of universal prosperity. Activate and potentialize the surging of wealth. Activate and potentialize possibilities with abundance of money. Activate and potentialize the update of a new financial reality. Activate and potentialize the increase of wages and income. Activate and potentialize financial blessings. Activate and potentialize the anchoring of the energy of endless money. Activate and potentialize the dematerialization of poverty, scarcity, lack, and no consciousness of money. I activate the restoration of the golden magnetic bodies of prosperity, wealth, abundance, and money, as well as profit and money profit. I ask that the inferior and superior bodies of myself and the collectives are totally aligned and activated in order to receive the financial blessings coming from the creator of all there is. All right. How powerful is that? I told you. I like this part. It gave me like a little bit of a chills. Like it, you know, it's nice because you're getting into a nice energy and you know you're vibrating high. So that gives you a boost of confidence, right? To move forward. All right. So now I'm gonna measure. Who remembers how much of a frequency did the collective have in the beginning? Does anybody? How much was your energy? 15. We were vibrating at 15. Let's see if there's any changes now. What is the vibrational frequency of the collective at the end of the session? You guys, you're up to 100. Wait. Waste of air. If you're not happy, it's not for you. Goodbye. All right, so let's just close. All right, creator of all there is, I ask that all chakras, bodies, and dimensions of myself and the collective to be totally aligned with the divine consciousness. So it is under the light. All right. And this is the end of our session. I hope it gave you some relief. And I hope that you guys are feeling more calm, confident. And again, this is not like a miracle session that's going to solve all your money problems. Keep in mind, it can give you relief on some areas. And I don't know what needs to happen first for you, but something miraculous can come along the way. We don't know. It's just be open and don't keep pressing for, when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, right? Just release. Usually, or always, this is how manifestation happens. When you release, let go of, and just be open. And then things will start shifting for you. This is already working, right? So give it time. And again, I picked up on the collective energy, right? Of course, everybody has limiting beliefs about money and traumas related to money, which keep you stuck and then can affect other areas of your life as well. So if you're interested in letting go, doing a deeper work, reach out for a private session. I'll be glad to help you out. If you guys want to do like a group session, I require a minimum of 5 people in a group setting in order to work on the same theme. You cannot split the theme when you're doing a collective session like more closely. Here it's because it's a portal, right? And we know it's abundance, so it worked okay. But if you're working with a smaller group of people, be sure to, agree on what you want to work on and reach out. Usually it's not a one session kind of thing. This table, it's called Table of Accelerated Prosperity because it works fast, much faster than the regular radionic table would work. This is specifically for abundance and prosperity. But this abundance and prosperity can also be related to relationships, can also be related to health, it can be related to, right? Whatever you want to work on. But give me a second, hun. Sorry. So whatever you want to work on, it's abundance, right? And it also clears the traumas attached to what you want to achieve. All right. So guys, this is my second live on TikTok. I'm very new to this. I do not have access to a lot of features here because you need to have like 10,000 followers, I think, to unlock a lot of the things that happen here. And I have no idea how it works. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do this privately. I can give you a PayPal account, which is transformtherapies@gmail. Whatever, if you want to, you're not forced to, but I don't think that I have access to anything that goes on here. I see a lot of things, but I don't even know what they mean. Anyways, eventually I think I'll get the hang of it. All right. Thanks for joining me. I see you next time. If you'd like to reach out, send me a DM on my TikTok account or any other platform, Transform Therapies, and we go from there. All right. Happy portal. Things start happening as of now. It started on the 25th and goes on until the 12th, but the energy remains throughout the year. So stay positive. Have a great night. Bye-bye.